with the doctor. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Very pleased to be here.
How's Comic-Con going for you so far?
Well, this is my very first Comic-Con interview, so it's starting now. I have no idea. I got here last night, I went to bed, I sort of stuck my head out the window today, and it was quite cool. I saw a woman as a TARDIS walking down the street. I was like, oh, hey, nice TARDIS. But like, kind of people recognise me less now my hair's shorter.
Yes, it has been a big topic of conversation, the hair.
Oh, really?
But I love it. Let's talk about your tenure as the Doctor, which has been so remarkable. I mean, this is more of a global phenomenon than ever. Certainly, it hits up right against the 50th anniversary. I know you're still in it, but do you kind of have a sense of what this experience has meant to you and what you've meant to the show?
Yeah, I mean, what it's meant to me is it's completely transformed my life and my family's life, actually. It's been the most wonderful experience. I've met some of the my closest friends, Karen and Jenna, Arthur, Stephen Moffat, Piers Wenger, Beth Willis. I mean, Mark Gatiss, like so many people that I really care about. And in terms of what I've meant to the show, I don't know really. I'm one of 11 cogs, and we, I feel very privileged to have done it, and I feel very privileged. And it's not over for me yet. I've still got the Christmas special to go.
I know.
Yeah, and apparently it's like 20 pages in. Stephen was telling me about it last night, so that sounds exciting.
What was he telling you?
No. If I told you, I'd have to kill you, and you don't want to die on the Thursday of Comic-Con. That would be horrendous.
That might be worth it.
I know.
You mentioned the 11. Let's talk about how your sort of approach to your Doctor and the conversation. He's had such a huge arc. In my mind. I mean, I feel like he started out so sort of playful and childlike in a way, and then he went to some very dark places. What were the conversations with Stephen Moffat like?
Well, I mean, he's such a consummate writer that he takes you on these journeys, and he gives you these brilliant places to go with that character. And I think, the actor's responsibility is to be inventive in this part, and I hope I've been inventive, and it's very kind that you say that he's playful, because I hope he has a bit of that, and there's a bit of magic and a bit of an old wizened man, and I don't know, that it's such a wonderful part that you've got carte blanche to play with it in any way, and Stephen is such a funny writer, and such a tragic writer that he makes that a very enjoyable experience.
Yeah, I was rewatching A Nightmare in Silver the other day, and that role is so Gollum-esque, or that sort of episode is so Gollum-esque and so Shakespearean. And I was just thinking how committed you have to be as an actor to play this role.
You really know your who. It's she really knows what she's talking about here. And that was a very exciting part that was a very exciting aspect of him to explore, because I've always been intrigued by the darker side of the Doctor. Because if you look at the history of the man, there's so much blood on his hands, so much. And at some point, and I think that's why he's funny and affable, because if he wasn't, he'd just go, oh, I can't do it. There's too much pain and too much anguish and too much death and losing people. I think of all the companions that he's just have slipped. And I think, there's a man in pain there somewhere.
There really is. There's also, he's done so much saving as well.
Yeah, true, very true. And you can't take that away from him. And that must give him a bit of a spring in his step as well. So, yeah, I've loved playing him. He's the most incredible character.
Let's talk about the John Hurt non-Doctor, Dark Doctor. Speaking of the Dark Doctor,
Yeah.
First of all, what was that experience like shooting the 50th with him?
With Johnny, oh wow! I mean, a lesson, an education, and a privilege. He is an incredible actor, a brilliant man. He doesn't have to do anything. I'm there climbing the walls. Me and Dave would be like running around doing loads of stuff, and John just have to sort of flick his eyes, and he'll tell you everything. So it was fantastic.
Do you know if his role, which may be like 8.5, we're hearing, Doctor 8.5, kind of will change the mythology of the show at all?
Well, I couldn't possibly speculate as to what it will do to the show, but what I can tell you is you're in for some serious revelations.
What were the conversations with you and David Tennant like? Your doctors kind of get along quite well, right?
Yeah, I love David and I love his Doctor. We're pals, and we had a great time making it. He's, again, a brilliant actor, great bloke, and I think we were just like, oh my God, it's you! Oh my God, it's you! And it was just sort of like, I don't know. It was. You'll have to wait and see.
So you're supposed to shoot the Christmas special, which is the last time we'll see you.
Yeah.
Sniff. I know. Sniff for all of us.
Well,
that's after. Is that completion with Ryan Gosling's movie, or is that done?
yeah, I've shot that movie, and that was really exciting, and so I've got no hair. I had a great time, and Ryan's, clever and brilliant and sort of everything you'd want him to be. Yeah, and I'm really excited as to what that will be like, because I really believe in that film. And then I go back in September and shoot the final hour.
And you've seen some pages, it sounds like.
Well, no, I haven't read any. I've just heard about them from Stephen last night.
What can you tell us about the character that you're playing in Ryan Gosling's movie?
I play a guy called Bully, who is just a complete lunatic, really. He sort of has a magic about him, and I really, I don't know. It was a character I really fell in love with as soon as I read it, and it was a film I really fell in love with because it operates on a sort of level of film that I'm really intrigued with. You're wearing Lynch earrings, I think.
I am.
I think you'll like How to Catch a Monster. It's of that world,
Sweet, that
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah, it's
are
cool.
those kind of the roles that you're looking for now that you're making your exit?
I don't know really. I just sort of look to do quality work, and I read that script, and I've always been a big fan of Ryan's work, and so that was hugely intriguing to me. But I'd quite like to do a play in New York. That would be fun. Or, there's lots of people I'd love to work with. There's lots of directors I'd love to work with, and actors I'd love to work with. So, but I go back to auditioning and trying to get a job. Someone employ me.
Employ this man. We want to see more of you. Well, we do have a couple of fan questions that I'll
Okay.
just ask you. What is your central takeaway from your interactions with a devoted fandom?
My central takeaway.
Central takeaway.
What is a central takeaway?
I guess-
the thing you take away most.
Yeah.
Oh wow, enthusiasm and support, and just the people that dress up and scream. I don't know really. I love Doctor Who fans. I'm sort of, and I don't want to over-egg the pudding on it, but yeah, they've been cool. They've been good to me, man. So I'll always be very. They'll always have a particular place, and because the show will. And like even now, you see, like she was dressed in a whole box. If you're watching this, I was looking down at the window, and you looked up, and she couldn't talk, so I just heard this. I'll see you on Sunday. I was like, yeah, see you on Sunday, lady in your TARDIS costume.
I hope so much that she is seeing this right now.
I hope that she finds it. She will. Someone will do whatever those internet-y things are, and she'll find out.
You stay away from the internet.
Yeah. I mean, I'd stay away from sort of Googling myself as much as possible, just because I wouldn't stop if I started, and my mum does it enough, to be honest. Yeah, I just don't know what good can come of it, really.
Well, another quick fan question. I think I know the answer to this one. Is
Okay.
is anyone that we've already seen on the show, could they be the new Doctor?
I don't know, because I don't know who the new Doctor is. I mean, as far as I'm aware, they're sort of looking, or they're beginning to look, and they've got quite a while until they need to decide. So I imagine it will be someone fresh, to be honest, but I really have no idea.
Is there anybody you'd like to see, or any sort of new direction you'd like them to go?
Who would be? I don't know really, because I sort of don't want to. I don't want to speculate too much. I sort of feel that's maybe not my place to. Do you know what I mean? Because I might say, because whoever it is will be the right actor or actress, let's wait and see who she is.
There's quite a controversy about that, actually. People really want to keep the character as is.
Oh really? Well, they're the stalwarts. She's a stalwart. This one.
No.
What do you think? Do you think it would be wrong if it was a woman?
Oh gosh, you are about to get me in so much trouble.
Come on, now I'm turning it round. Welcome to IGN, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think it would be wrong if the Doctor was played by a woman?
I don't. No.
Oh, diplomatic response. Good. Well media trained.
No, it's not. I'm going to get in so much trouble for saying that. I
It
think
can be anyone. It can be anyone, and that's the great thing about the part. If Helen Mirren did it, or if it's someone. There's so many female actresses who'd be amazing, and who knows?
I think the most remarkable thing about the character is that it's about. It's more egalitarian. It's about the similarities between species and beings, and sort of what unites.
Because it's an alien. He's an alien, or she's an alien, and so it doesn't matter. The Doctor is a complete alien. It's why the notion of getting married and cooking scrambled eggs just makes him go, the hell are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Go and stand in front of a Dalek and tell him that he looks ridiculous.
At the same time, I will say, with all of this history, I do understand a devoted fandom. But, okay, so moving on to, speaking of devoted fandoms, have you seen the Star Trek Doctor Who comic?
No. Star Trek Doctor Who comic? Wow, no, I haven't.
Somebody wants to know if you'd like to play a Star Trek character.
Yeah, I would. I would, JJ. Or Star Wars, so just put it out there. Yeah, but Ben, you know, Ben's kind of done the English villain now, hasn't he? So, I don't know.
Plenty of room for English villains.
Yeah, and he was great in it. So yeah, but I love Star Trek, and I love JJ's work. I think, you know, what that man can do with the Steadicam is pretty special.
The final question that we have from the fans is, will you ever wear a bow tie again?
Yes, because bow ties, ladies and gentlemen, are cool.
So cool!
They are cool.
It's been such a delight. Thank you so much.
Skin, lady. Thank you. Thank you for having me.